Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another webinar by Foci Integrated Communicators. Our topic for today is Hit Refresh on Business Referrals, where you will learn how to evaluate your business referrals, the ways to create a plan to increase those referrals, and lastly, how to take concrete action for the following. Well, before we begin, I would like to tell you a little bit more about Foci Integrated and what we exactly do. So Foci is a 10-year-old marketing communications agency based in Dubai. We support small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs to manage their marketing functions. Now, being a marketing agency, we make sure that our ideas help your business gain the momentum you desire, and they help us build strong relations. Now, the main agenda behind this event is to create more awareness about the new products or services in the market. And through these webinars, you can get a chance to connect to our experts and hence build a good relationship with them. Today's webinar is specifically beneficial for those businesses who are willing to get quality clients. Well, before getting started, there are a few house rules to be strictly followed. That is, all participants are kindly requested to be on mute. Commenting is strictly prohibited. And lastly, if you have any queries, there will be a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Well, moving forward, I'd like to introduce you our speaker for today, Mr. Hemant Jain, who is not only a life coach, but also a business coach, a team coach, and an interview coach. With a career span of almost 2 decades, he has almost had an extensive experience across various countries and industries. Some of you present here may already know him, including me, but for those who don't know him, he is also known as the filmy coach and the uncomfortable coach. A small fun fact for you all, he loves to connect everything with Bollywood, may it be a song, a dialogue, or a movie. And he loves addressing uncomfortable truths that often hold you back from reaching to your full potential. Hemant's area of expertise have always lied in working with middle and senior management professionals as well as business owners. He specializes in helping these individuals break through their barriers and unlock new levels of success. So without further delay, I'd like Hemant to take this forward.
Thank you, Nishita. Thank you very much. That was a fantastic introduction. I should record that and transcribe it and use it myself. I haven't introduced myself that well ever. So thank you very much. Well,
No worries.
let me fire up the slides. Got a few of them myself. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice Friday evening. And here you are with the filmy coach. So, well, got to be filmy. And so my first slide is going to be, of course, movies. Well, I was thinking which one to pick, and then I said, let me just pick them all. So these are movies that are pretty much in the news these days. Some of them have been released, and you might have seen them. Some of them, their trailers have been released off late, and you might have seen them. But the key question is, what is the impact these trailers or these movies have on you? Every movie is designed, is created, is produced with all the money, effort being put behind it to create an impact on you. And once you are impacted, what do? You go about telling other people about it. And that's, if you look at it, is the oldest marketing trick in the world. Your customers, your clients have a feeling, have an emotion after using your services and products, and they go out and tell other people. And of course, we call it traditionally word of mouth. The better it is, the higher the chances of you getting new clients without really spending marketing dirhams. But of course, in the referral world, if we can systemize it, if we have control over something which ordinarily we think we don't have control over, that would be good. Because referrals is something which is done by your customers, by your clients. So it's a conversation which is often assumed to be beyond your control. And today what we are going to focus on is that how do we take charge of this aspect of our marketing? Why referrals are important? It's pretty simple. Any marketing effort which you have got, there's an effort involved in it, there's a cost involved in it, and the impact which a marketing effort creates, a marketing tool, a marketing device, a marketing channel will create. You always want the effort to be less, the cost to be less, but the impact to be significantly huge. The lesser the cost, the lesser the effort, and the greater the impact. That would be your go-to marketing tool, right? If you look at referrals, yes, there is some effort required. The effort is required to deliver a great services, which you are anyway supposed to do. Not even thinking about marketing angle, but somebody has paid, they're using your service or the product, you need to deliver the best possible that you can. So the effort is already there. Cost. What is the cost of a referral? If you were to encourage your customers to provide a referral, is there a cost associated with it? And even if it is there, I think it's pretty minimal, right? But the impact out of all the marketing devices, a referral is perceived to be one of the most strongest, most impactful, most effective marketing device, because somebody recommends your service or your product. The two people who are having this conversation, they have an established level of trust, and the referral, the reference drives on that. It rides on that trust. People take people's word. I mean, if I trust somebody and they recommend me a service, I would pretty blindly try that service as and when I need it. If somebody recommended a movie to me and I know that person well, I know that person's taste matches my taste of movies, I would go ahead and watch the movie. Even if the movie had bad reviews in the news, online, etc., if a person told me, go watch this movie, I would. And that's where the impact of a referral is significant. So we'll focus on the referrals today. I would want you to take charge of the referral system for your business. Get more referrals and make it predictable. For that, I'm going to ask you a series of very important questions. I've actually got about 10 questions. And for each of those questions, you will have to do a bit of self-assessment. So it's not going to be me talking, you listening. You would have to put in some effort and some work into it. So whether it's your phone, whether it's a piece of paper, I'm going to ask certain questions and you are going to rate yourself on a scale of, let's say, 1 to 10, where 1 will be the lowest, 10 will be the highest. And we'll see the questions and you will get a hang of it. Okay. The first question, our customers understand who our ideal customer is. Now, this is a tricky question, right? First of all, you need to know your customer, right? It takes a lot of thinking, time, effort to really nicely, efficiently, and accurately define your customer. Most of the times, you have a very vague idea of who our customer is. But if you have an accurate idea, an accurate picture of your customer, that's not my question. My question is, does your customer, and when I say customer, this is a person who has used your services, used your product, do they know who your customer is? This might sound a bit tricky, but it's a fact. Because if they have to refer you to somebody, they should know who you are looking for. The moment they begin to understand who is your customer, which of course includes them also, they will know whom to refer to you. Which is why, have you made any effort to educate, to let your customer know who are you looking for? Because if you have not, then they are doing carpet bombing. Whenever they meet somebody, if they have been supremely impressed by your services and by your products, they will go around recommending you to anybody and everybody. Well, carpet bombing, once in a while, it will hit the mark. Every time else, it's just out there, not really making a mark. So if your customer, by some way, you can educate them on who are you looking for, who are you targeting, that would be good because that will increase significantly the chances of your referral landing in the right place. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much your customers know who your customer is? So if you can, rate yourself on that. Question number 1, put a small rating of anywhere between 1 to 10. 10 will be your customers accurately know who your customer is. And 1, well, I don't think my customers have any idea who I'm looking for. So that would be a 1. Okay, done. We're going to move forward. Remember, we have got 10 questions, so I'm going to go very fast. Of course, at the end, you're open to any Q&A and you have any questions you can ask. Great. Second, our customers get our selling proposition. Each of us, when we have formulated our business, when we have created our products and services, we have tried to sell it on a USP, a unique selling point. We think we are, if not the best, we are different from the rest. And we take that to the market. We market that. We put it into our sales pitch. We put it into all our communications. Everybody around knows what we are known for, why we are different, how we are different, and how we can make a difference. But does your customer understand that? Because if your customer understands that, they can then tell others your USP. Right? If they are not able to translate your USP and tell someone else, what it is happening is they are recommending you, but they don't really know what exactly are they selling, that unique thing. And if your customers can be made aware of your USP very clearly, then you've got a better shot at that referral hitting the mark. So here, once again, mark yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 as to your customer. Do they know? Do they get it? Do they get your selling proposition, your USP very clearly? Okay. So this is the second question and you're rating yourself on it. Okay. Before I start the third question, don't try to rate yourself at 5. Because when you rate yourself at 5, between 1 and 10, it's like, I don't really know. Maybe they know, maybe they don't know. And don't sit on the fence. Either they don't know or they know. It can be 4 or 6 if you're not very clear, or 1 or 9 if you're very, very clear, but don't put it on a 5. Okay, let's move on. Our customers give testimonials happily. So this is where your past experience comes in. That when you have interacted with your customers, your seemingly happy customers, do they give the testimonial happily? Because it's very simple. I am happy with your service and I would definitely recommend it. But how reluctantly or how openly I recommend that service is a kind of a indication of the confidence I have in your service. Right? So it's my confidence along with my customer satisfaction put together that brings in that willingness, that happy willingness of your customer to give you the testimonial. They go out. Do they go out on social media and talk about it? Have you received calls from people who have said, "Oh, I met a friend of mine and she recommended very, very happily, very cheerfully about you. They were talking about you and I would like to use your services." So, do your customers give the testimonials happily? When you seek testimonials from your customers, are they willing? Are they happily, cheerfully giving it to you? That would be a good indicator of how happy they are of your services. And if they are not very happy and if they are not very willing, you probably need to have a relook at the whole customer experience that you have given to them. Okay. So once again, third question, customers giving testimonials happily, rating on a scale of 1 to 10. We move on to 4. I firmly believe we deserve good and great testimonials. This is your belief in yourself. This is your belief in your products and services. This is your confidence in your team to deliver great products and services. The rest of the world, you are expecting them to do stuff. You want referrals. But what do you feel inside your heart? Have you done a great job? Have you done a job great enough that a customer will go out of the way and give you a testimonial? Have you made your customer experience customer delight, customer ecstasy, or any other word which is probably being used these days to define how the customer feels after using your products and services? If you have made that happen, things become easier for you. So once again, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you feel, how much do you believe that you deserve a good or a great testimony? Okay, that was question number 4. Moving on. 5th, our staff is engaged in gaining valuable referrals. If you have a team, this is what the reference is. If you are a solopreneur, like me, I'm a coach, I'm a solopreneur, this is for me. Am I engaged enough in gaining valuable referrals? Have you been to a restaurant where the restaurant, after the food is done, they come and serve you the bill, they ask you how was the food, even during when they are serving, they're asking you if everything is good. And in the end, they come and say, sir, how was your experience? You say it was fantastic, it was great. And they say, sir, if the experience was great, can you just rate us on Zomato or Talabat or any other site which is there? And can you give us a 5-star rating? And my name is this, can you mention me also? This shows the level of engagement of your staff in not just an influencing a referral, like delivering exemplary services, which will result in a great referral, but also being engaged in getting that referral, not leaving that customer go out of the door without giving a referral, right? So many referrals, so many reviews have happened just because somebody took the initiative or someone was asked to take an initiative and ask for a referral. So do you have a process? Is it an instruction? Have you educated your team and your staff enough that they are engaged in getting the referrals? Once again, rating from 1 to 9, 1 to 10. Well, we are halfway through, 5 questions down. I don't know what scores you have been giving yourself and what is your total till now, but picture abhi baki hai, mere dost. Half the battle is still there. Okay. Our other marketing plans are aligned with our gaining referrals, right? We looked at that. You will have so many different marketing channels, marketing plans. You may be putting ads in the newspapers, pamphlets, putting booklets into the houses of people. You might have magazine ads going on. You might be on social media. You might be doing campaigns. You might be sponsoring events. So many of them are happening. Do you have a linkage where you take your referrals and see where you can take the referrals and use them across all your marketing plans? Are you creating visibility for the referrals into all those marketing plans? Do you take inputs from the marketing plans and put it into the referrals? Do you marry them together? Do you use you use other marketing channels to get referrals and as well to market the referrals? Your marketing plans need to be integrated, and we are into 4C integrated communication, so that's a good place to start with. So once again, if your referrals are an independent body of your marketing efforts and are not connected, your rating would be very low, near 1, 2. If they are integrated, go as high as you want, anywhere between 1 to 10. Once again, rating to be done. That was number 6. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have an inclination to talk, if you could be on mute, that would be helpful. Yes, we come to number 7. It's a follow-up to the number 6. Are you using specifically the social media to get referrals? And this is a way of influencing your customers, influencing your clients to post their referrals directly on the social media, not just give it to you on a piece of paper or write an email to you or verbally give it to you. That's great. But can you ask them? Can you influence them to give their referrals on the social media? I've seen it being done in many ways. It is done by simply asking, or sometimes, especially in cases of restaurants, I would say, I've seen it in the way of almost bribing their customers to post their referrals on the social media. People recommend you on social media, and they, of course, get a sweet, an item free the next time they visit, right? I remember once I was asked to fill a survey, a customer experience survey by Subway sandwiches. And once I fill the survey, the next time I visit, I can get a cookie free, right? So sometimes you got to bribe your customers into giving you a honest feedback. But go for an honest feedback, it helps you. So once again, are you using social media to gain referrals? Okay. The next one is also going to be connected, but let's rate yourself on this. We are at number 7, and you are going to rate yourself on how much are you using social media to gain your referrals. Okay, we move on to the next one, number 8. We use social media to publicize your referrals, right? Now it's the other way around. You've got your referrals. Are you now publicizing the referral through social media? Social media has got a great reach. As many followers you have got, and sometimes by the like and share effect, you can reach out to even a larger audience. So do you use your referrals? Do you highlight the referrals in your social media? It's not just about highlighting yourself and your services and your product. You are in some ways making that person famous who gave it. Like it can be about few minutes of fame, but everybody loves that. The moment you put your customers' referral on your social channels, and tag them and highlight them, they'll feel good, they'll feel happy. They will like and share too. And it becomes a cycle of like and share where it just increases the reach. The referral becomes stronger. It gets probably more credibility too once there is both of you talking about it. So, are you using your social media to publicize any and every referral that you get? Not just the ones you get from the social media, but you get in store. Somebody has just mentioned it online without even tagging you. Like people often talk about products without tagging the master company or the service provider. If you have come across it, here's your chance to use the social media to publicize that referral. It's a very good tool to use, pretty free of cost, but it needs some effort and tracking. So if you're using it, give yourself a high score. If you're not really using it, a low score comes here again. We are not on. We are now on question 8, and 2 more questions left. Great. Now this is an important one. We have an effective system for follow through on our referrals. This is a lot about taking charge of the number of referrals that you get. Depending on your product or services, you may have a few clients, hundreds of clients, or maybe even thousands of clients. Is there a possibility that you can track your customers and seek out referrals and follow up with them? Because sometimes you ask for a referral, they are happy, and then they forget. You ask again, they're happy, and they are busy. So sometimes it takes a few reminders, sometimes a bit of a coaxing or a push to ask and get the referral. Without a system, it would be pretty random. Half the times you will forget, you lose half of the referrals you get like that. But if you had a system in place, a customer relationship management, a CRM, to follow through and get those referrals in paid, to put the ticks in the right places, to send the reminders, automated if possible, manually if not, you will have a greater chance of getting a larger number of referrals. So once again, taking charge of your referrals, do you have an effective system for follow through on your referrals? It could be pretty much in a notebook or in an Excel sheet, depending on the number of clients you've got, but do you have a system? So once again, rating from 1 to 10 on there being an effective system with you. And we come to the finale, the last question. Here you go. We recognize our customers, our associates, and the staff contribution in gaining referrals. Referrals are not really easy to come by. Some, of course, you provide an exemplary service, the customer is absolutely happy and loves talking on social media, loves appreciating people, and they'll happily do it even without your asking. But we all know those are absolutely rare gems. Most of your customer referrals will come after a bit of an effort. Sometimes it is you, sometimes it is your staff, sometimes it is even your associates. Take some time and put some effort in recognizing their effort. If it's your staff, are you recognizing the number of referrals a person has generated, the number of reviews a person has generated, the number of messages that have come in saying that this particular person delivered an exemplary service? if it's an associate, if it's your customer, if it's a friend, if it's a business networking partner, somebody you have met and they have recommended you, are you publicly recognizing their effort? People feel good when you recognize their effort. So if you're doing that, greater chances that they will continue to do that. When you recognize someone, and I'm not in the picture, I'm just watching you recognize someone else, I say, hey, that's a nice thing. I could also recommend, and next time I would be on the spotlight. I would love to be there. Somebody might just recommend you to be in that spotlight that you create for anybody who helps your business. So, last but not least, the question is that is you, recognizing customers, associates, and staff contribution in gaining the reference. Once again, scoring of 1 to 10. Let me pull down the slide here. Well, it's time for me to ask, what's your score? All those who have been putting in some numbers and were now supposed to add it up and report a score. Yes, Rufus, I see your comment, but I think that was for a particular question. Let's look at all your 10 questions, add them up very quickly, and that's your squares. That's your score out of 100. And it's okay. Whatever be the score, don't worry about it. It's a learning experience. It could be low, it could be high, it could be somewhere in middle. And those who can, those who are bold enough to share it, please put it on your chat. What's your score? How much did you score? Rufus, Sanaya, 49. Okay. You don't have to put pathetic in front of that. I would say it's 30 out of 100. Okay. Well, it's not zero. Well, if you look at all those questions that I asked, right? And of course, if you have got a low score and you're wondering, now how do I increase the score? Well, as the great masters of philosophy say, the answer lies within you. Well, the answer in this case lies in all those questions. As we went through all those questions, all the 10 of them, each one of them is a way to make your referral system stronger, make your referral system predictable, make your referral system work for you. Whether it is the customers understanding who your customer is, or getting your USP, or giving testimonials happily, which indicates a great service. Your own belief in whether your service is exemplary enough to get these testimonials, engaging the staff, recognizing their efforts, alignment of all the different marketing channels, all this put together is going to generate a lot of referrals. And yes, you need to ask for the referrals. That is where your staff engagement comes in. Whether your staff or you ask for the referrals after delivering a great service. When you put together all of this, little by little, the scores improve. Across the board, in each of those elements, if you improved a little bit and just jumped your score by 1 unit, your overall score will jump by 10. Right? Not very difficult to do, a little effort required, greater effort, greater the reward, and that's how it will be. Okay, so let me just once again stop sharing. Where is my controls? Okay, yes. Okay, so I wanted to cover those 10 questions very quickly because I think referrals are great for business in getting a lot of business with people who are already convinced with what you do and that you are going to deliver a good service. So the ball is already out of the park and all you need to do is deliver the service now. The selling cycle reduces significantly when a person who has been referred to walks into your business. They are trying your product or your service. A lot of the selling effort, the marketing effort suddenly reduces significantly. And you can focus on the delivery of your product and service. So, which is why referrals extremely powerful and you really, really need to work on them. Of course, depending on your business, some of those pointers may feel not relevant. Some of those things you might feel that, oh, this question does not really work for me and my business, but I would encourage you to think again. Those questions which I have put there are generic enough to be applicable to each one of you, irrespective of a product or a service that you offer. Sometimes it may be difficult to track your customers, but how do you influence them? For example, let's just take a very random example, 2-minute Maggi noodles, right? Nestle manufactures and sells them, an end consumer buys them. Nestle has, of course, a marketing book, their marketing toolkit, which says who my ideal customer is, but they cannot pinpoint an exact customer. They cannot come to you to ask for your review or your referral. But how many times, if you have been a consumer of Maggi, gone out and told people about Maggi? So many times. Like I remember at some point in time, I was an avid Maggi consumer, and it used to be a very common conversation. Like the 3 a.m. Maggi or a midnight Maggi, we would easily recommend to other people. We would call, we will have Maggi parties and so on and so forth. How did that happen? How did they influence me? Well, of course, by delivering a good product, but their whole marketing integration of all the different channels where they made it the talk of the town. They infused stories of people talking about Maggie in social media, in magazines, in newspaper articles, which would tell me that, oh, people are talking about Maggie and the stories. And I knew that I had my own stories to tell. And next time I got an opportunity, I would do that. Can you influence your customers to behave in a certain way by integrating your marketing efforts? Lot of organizations, lot of marketing teams have worked on it and done it to the great results. So can you do it too? Depending on your product and service, you will be able to channelize the conversations. Should know how to, and of course, use social media, use your marketing devices, encourage your customers to talk about your services and your products. Nothing like a great referral to boost your business. Well, at this point, I would like to open the floor for Q&A. Any questions you have got, any doubts you have got, any comments you have got, any experiences you've got to share. This is the point where I would open the stage to all of you. You got Rufus, Bharat, Sanaya, Ramesh. The rest is 4C team.
Hemant, I have got a question for you.
Yes.
You asked a question if our clients are happily giving testimonials.
Yes.
But when we ask for a testimonial from our client, this is, yeah, we will give you a testimonial. Why don't you craft it for us? Because we don't know what to say. Now, how do you handle this kind of a situation? Yeah?
Oh,
because
yeah.
you know you have delivered a good product service, your client is happy. Yeah, they want to give you a testimonial, but they're clueless about how to give a testimonial.
Yes. So trust me on this one, as a life coach, all my clients I have worked with, and when I have asked for their testimonial in text or on video, this was the thing. Hemant, why don't you write something and give it to me so that I can do the testimonial? And my question was, if I had to do that, then I have not made a difference to you at all. So think about this. I used to tell them that what difference did I make in your life? What did I change? What was the biggest takeaway for you from the coaching journey? And then, of course, they would tell me. I said, this is all I need in the testimonial. Because the testimonial, more than being about me in this case, is about the difference I made to them. So for marketing services, that could be a kind of questions you ask and let them arrive at a point where they know what to talk about. The problem with providing a sort of a script or a guideline to them in terms of talking is, one, it does not come out as genuine. Two, they will try to memorize it and speak it so it does not flow naturally. So when you look at the testimonial, you feel that it is not genuine. It's very, I mean, we humans are that way, very intuitive. about watching something and getting a feel of it. So even if you were to post that kind of a testimonial outside, it just wouldn't touch people's heart or their minds. So getting a genuine testimonial is definitely extremely important, unless you're getting a testimonial in text and you put it out there, in which case it wouldn't really matter because people are just going to read it and take it like that. I have just got one case. I do job interview coaching, and there I cannot have a direct video testimonial because people generally wouldn't like to announce it that, oh, I had help for my job interview and that's how I cracked it. So there I end up getting testimonials only in text. And after that also, of course, I cannot put their name. So it is like senior manager from a leading pharmaceutical company or something like that. And even there, I have tried to ask them that if I had to give it, I would end up giving you the same thing which I would tell anybody. I really want to know what is that one small difference that I was able to make in that entire journey. And it is interesting how in that moment they will tell you the difference they made, which is good for me also because I get to know what difference I made to them. Sometimes I'm not even thinking about it. Someone once mentioned that, oh, Hemant, you helped me identify my blind spot. That was a great testimonial. I said, exactly right. If you give me that one line as a testimonial, I'll be very happy. So similarly, Alexa, sorry about that. So similarly for your product and services, not just you as 4C, but others who are there in it, ask your customer. And see, this is another one. I mean, I could add this as question number 11. Do you have a process or structure in place to help your customer give you a testimonial? So give them these 3-4 questions and say, just answer these questions, talk about it, and the testimonial is done. Take a phone, shoot yourself with that. That's how you get the testimonial. Yes, Rufus has actually put a question in the chat. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, Rufus. I'm just assuming that's the way it is said.
Yeah, that's the right way of pronunciation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we need to prepare a pitch for referrals? Yes, you need to, because if you are the only one seeking it, it's a conversation. You would take it naturally. But if you have a team, you need to train them on asking for the referral. So, for example, the thing which I mentioned about the example of the restaurant,
Yeah.
the serving staff, the person at the cash counter, they have been given a sort of a script and they have been trained on it.
Okay.
So that there is more or less, everybody knows what to do. Because there, if you tell 10 people that, oh, ask for referrals, everybody would do it in a very different manner. And you may not have control over the quality of the conversation. So if you were
Okay.
to script it and then give it to your team, see, nobody needs to follow the script to the T, not the exact word in the same way, etc. But generally, people will get a hang of it after doing 3-4 times, and then it is smooth.
Okay. Got it.
Right? Depending on your product and services, what you ask may be different. Also, if you have some visibility of what kind of an experience your customer has got, your questions will also be different.
Understood. Yeah.
Great. Well, fantastic. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, Hemant. One more question from me. You said that set up a process to get referrals, track them, and then right up to follow through. Yeah,
Yes.
to how they are panning out in the later stage of the conversation. How far do you think that it is effective in terms of setting up the entire process where the team is very small?
Okay, sure. Team is small. Again, it would also relate to what kind of customer base are we talking about? A small base, a large base. So I said you could have a few clients, you could have hundreds of clients or even thousands of clients. Now that is where it comes in. The kind of system you use a book, a paper-based system, a simple table drawn, use an Excel or use a CRM. The idea is if you have a few customers, you are engaging with them more often. If you've got hundreds of them, then the frequency of engagement will go down. Where you have got few customers, don't just ask for referrals. The referral, I would say the value of each referral you get when you have got few clients is very high. So when you are next meeting them in your regular meetings, in your regular conversations, ask them about your service. How is that experience? And just ask them, can I record this, what you're saying? You don't even have to ask them to give you a referral. You are taking the referral yourself. That's how you're taking further charge of collecting that referral, right? If it's a few hundred, yes, a mechanism will help because you won't be able to chase all of them. So having once in a week reminder, asking for the referral, providing an incentive to provide, give a referral, right? As I said, the example of Subway, or I think even Domino's does that. You give them a review, you give them fill their survey, and the next time you go to their store, you get one of the items free. In this case, it was a cookie. Can you incentivize your customers to give you a referral? That can actually push up the rate of referrals that you're getting, video referrals, social media mentions significantly. So a system will help you bring predictability in the system. Otherwise, there would be no tracking, and it would be like shooting in the dark more often than not.
A little bit more in depth, if I have to ask. Yeah.
Yes.
Where you have had a fantastic testimonial, people are recommending you and your services, your products. Many a times, these people become your brand ambassadors. They actually
Yes.
give you leads and business. Yeah. So in such a scenario, how do you kind of publicize this as an achievement, or to give credit to somebody who has given you referrals?
Yes. So, okay, let's use this as an example of our business. If you had to, and it comes down to our question of recognizing the partners, the associates, even your customers and your staff who are helping you with referrals, etc. Within the staff, you would know, you would publicly announce within your staff meetings that this guy has generated the maximum referrals or has got maximum reviews. Taking it to your customer, use, of course, with their permission, use their name and photo in the social media to recognize their effort. Call them your brand ambassador. People may know, I mean, generally brand ambassadors are celebrities, right? You pick a celebrity and make them your brand ambassador. Let's do the reverse. Identify your brand ambassador and make them into a celebrity. If you're going to have a physical event anytime throughout the year, invite them and recognize their effort. Use the social media to recognize their contribution. Call them your brand ambassador, offer them a meal, I mean, if it was a restaurant, or your services in some ways to help them continue to use your services. They are bringing in more clients. Maybe there was an incentive you could offer them that their clients you are getting, the clients also get a discount. And it should be kind of explicitly mentioned that you are getting a discount because you were referred by this gentleman who is our brand ambassador. Right? So this person's value, right, and fame increases, and you are contributing. The side effect is someone else sees that and they're like, hey, he's not their employee, he's not associated directly with that organization, he's just a customer, and they are doing so much publicity for that person. And they realized that it was not so difficult. All they had to do was recommend your services. And assuming they are already happy customers, they were like, oh, happy to do this. And more people start doing this. See, it's like employee of the month. That public recognition of stellar performance in front of everybody. Right? One person gets recognized, but everybody in the room is like, oh, I can do that. Next month, I should be the one whose photo is there on that chart being labeled as the employee of the month. My photo should be there for the entire month. And now I see a lot of organizations keeping not as a rolling month on month, but they keep a master frame with all the pictures for the entire year. Right? That small switch from a monthly recognition to an entire year recognition is great. No, if somebody would feel that, oh, I should be there. I will be there on that wall in that frame for an entire year. And then somebody wins it twice. They've got 2 photos. It's like, oh, this is possible. I can become employee of the month twice. Why not? So it is about influencing behavior of the group by giving a little more importance to one person. Very strangely, I've got a movie reference here. I don't know how many people in the room will remember the movie Tejab, Anil Kapoor, Mandakini, and of course Madhuri Dixit. And there is this very strange dialogue in that movie by Anil Kapoor. It's almost like when you're trying to influence a girl, don't target the girl, target the girl's best friend. Praise her, give attention to her, and the girl whom you are trying to impress will automatically start paying attention to you. Very strange reference, but that had to come.
You lived up to your name of a filmy coach.
It's always running at the back of my mind.
I think, yeah, that's all my questions. Hemant, thank you very much. Over to you, Nishita.
Great. So thank you so much, Hemant. Thank you everyone for attending this session. And again, I would like to tell thank you to Hemant to, help us gain a lot of knowledge about whatever he has shared. And it was indeed a very nice and energetic session. So, the link of the webinar will be shared to all of you all. And yeah, that's it. We will be even posting it on our social media platforms where you can even have a look at the webinar. You can again keep going through all the expertise which Hemant has shared with you. That's it. So thank you so much and have a nice weekend.